morning, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the partially mask-wearing militant state of Michigan, where we have Gretchen Whitmer as our governor and dictator for the next 4 years. Today, we're going to talk about a little white lie. Just a small one. It's kind of not one you haven't heard before. And then we're going to talk about a little white truth. Oh, they're both pretty good. So the little white lie, I'd like to introduce you to Jamal Brown. Now, Jamal Brown was back in 2011, was a bank manager, I believe for Bank of America. He lost his job and he came over to Kalamazoo and founded Black Lives Matter. Like in 2012, he's over in Kalamazoo. He's getting involved in organizations, community, kind of a community organizer. He forms a Black Lives Matter in Kalamazoo. He becomes like the director for the militant state. And some, I guess, rumors followed him, especially they came up in 2016, and then they were from the Kalamazoo Gazette, the newspaper in Kalamazoo, home of the Western Michigan Broncos, by the way. And finally, the Kalamazoo Gazette had this bone in their mouth, and they wouldn't let it go, and they kept at it, and they finally found that the name Jamal Brown was a fake identity. And the real name of this gentleman is Maurice Clark, and I also saw it as Adam Clark on two different websites. And that's not the only thing that was fake about Jamal. Jamal is actually, he's actually a white dude. Yes, he's white. He was using tan dye or tan ink and browning his skin down. He's actually a white dude. He just said, I just, you can see it in here, I was tired of being white. Black Lives Matter just kind of said, well, that's cool. We're done with it. And of course, we heard it with Rachel Dolezal. I'm just curious, though. I mean, Rachel Dolezal was, I'm not sure which city she was in. I know it was on the West Coast. Could have been Seattle or Portland or something like that. But she was like a director in the NAACP there. And this guy was a highly regarded and respected black community organizer. I'm just curious how these people get to these positions. I mean, how they are able to navigate these systems and not just, become members, but become leaders in these things. And I'm sure Rachel was probably doing okay with the money. I don't know what this guy was making, but it sort of amazes me. I don't know how you could do it. I can't get a 5-minute interview with Tudor Dixon. This dude could have ran her campaign. I don't quite understand how they can assimilate to these positions. Now, maybe it had something to do with, because this was 2012 when he started. Maybe it was slightly to do with Barack Obama getting in office. But I just kind of find it amazing that, to me, he's probably a pretty successful guy. He could have done anything, and I just don't know how they rise through there without really having some type of experience, the black experience, I guess. It puzzles me a little. Now, the little white truth. This one I tried to put on my site. Some of you might have seen it, but YouTube took it down. They said, ain't no way in hell you're going to be able to, we're going to keep this up, even though you can actually go on YouTube and find it. I think they took it down. Now I keep thinking there was content. Maybe it was the Tucker Carlson thing they took down. But that was with the Angela Davis. If you didn't see it, it was Angela Davis, who was like a 60s protester, very pro-Black Panther, and, equal rights and all that. And she went on that PBS show, Who Do You Think You Are? The one that traces back your ancestry. And I'm sure Angela Davis was thinking that she was like a direct descendant of Kunta Kinte, and her relatives came across on a slaver ship, and one of them or two of them risked their lives and headed on the Underground Railroad up north and made lives for themselves. Well, Angela Davis, it's true that Angela Davis's relatives did come on a ship to America. It wasn't a slave ship, though. It was the Mayflower. So, if that video is still up, take a look at it. I love the look on her face when she realizes that everything she thought about herself just wasn't true. She's pumping European blood through that system of hers. It ain't Kunta Kinte's. So that's about it. I want to talk about the George Conway and the Kellyanne Conway divorce, but I want it to be a little bit more on the, I don't know, I just think if I do it, it's just going to be sort of easy to observe comments, and I don't want to do that. Give it a little bit of a thought to it, and maybe make it something at least a little bit more listenable. Maybe take a different angle, kind of like this Jamal Brown. It's easy to just comparing them with the Rachel Dolezal, but I'm just curious how they rise through the ranks. Black lives, how they're fooled. How are they fooled, taken advantage of? I mean, not that it only happens there, but I mean, who knew that your Q security level dude is at airports stealing suitcases, and how they get to those positions. But I'm just sort of befuddled on that point. So maybe George and Kellyanne, I've got to give it some thought. I want to make it productive. So if you can, if that 45 50-second clip of Angela Davis is on. Watch that clip because you can see the history of her family. Everything she thought just passes through her mind for like a split second. She realizes that nothing she believed about herself and her family was true. It's pretty good. So, I believe the lineman combine is today. I'm going to try to get it and watch it. It's on the NFL Network. I don't have that. I'm going to have to try to find something online. And we'll look for a couple sleepers in that group. A couple sleepers that I will pass along the info through my vlog to the Detroit Lions. And probably, as usual, they will completely ignore me. But they shouldn't. So this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.